Hey everybody, I want to Weasum here. It is Thursday, December 5th, 2013. I think that the recording issues are somewhat resolved. Problem being there's a way to integrate my commentary with the actual recording, which saves a step in editing. Problem there is it randomly will miss 2-3 minutes at a time. There for a while it always seemed to happen about 20 minutes in. Here lately, a couple of Minecraft things I've done with my nephew testing things out. It's happened like 8 to 12-ish minutes into the recording. So kind of going half new school, half old school here. Just gonna test some things out. Where I left off, essentially like part 2. Just kind of, we'd finished up chapter 1, came in, just milled around this area. I think I actually introduced Washbuckler there. I felt like I had done the entire starter pack, all 3 starter packs, if you will, console, dark, and 3DS, but I can't find those recordings, so gonna try this route apparently. What I will do though is just kind of back out of here. I kind of have to get acclimated back to the controls. As you can see, we're Blast Zone. He's got a hat on. You saw him in part 1, kind of right there where things started to go downhill. Interesting note, as I've been like sorting through everything here, these little things here, I think they're called like elemental flowers. You can sort of like what we saw on Flynn's ship when you kind of go in the area you're going to climb up, try to get some gems or something. The lights kind of sync up with the element. Obviously Blast Zone fire. If we had Spiral here, it would be purple. It was a Saturday before I was out of town for Thanksgiving. Just trying to get that test recording off, kind of troubleshoot it. But basically what happened, I was a ninja stealth elf and walked this direction, and this rainbow path appeared. I didn't take it because, you know, I didn't know what it was. Still haven't taken it. Apparently that thing is only going to appear between like 3 and 6 p.m. It's going to take you can see the treasure over there, or at least you can on my TV. I've been adjusting the aspect ratios on the Wii U and stuff, in hopes it would help the recording. I don't know, but you can see the treasure. I don't know how much it is, but maybe this weekend, the Cowboys play Monday night, so maybe Sunday I'll get to come in here and kind of take a look at things. Other thing that's skewing my memory is the fact that I've like been documenting damage and stats, putting them all in a spreadsheet. I got something pretty cool planned there. But this is Blast Zone. Again, it is kind of skewed a little bit because he's level 3. He's got the hat on and everything. Let's see here. What is primary? His bomb toss, you're going to see 28. My nephew used this to absolutely obliterate me when we first got this thing. I'm looking forward to the point those guys won't talk to us when we're doing this. But, you know, the dummy spit out money. You'll see 28 to 42, basically. That's what I'm trying to get across here. Pretty impressive there. Again, really wish that was A and not Y. That said, secondary attack right there. Or not really, I guess it's like primary on the bottom end. You should know what I mean. On his legs, it's just rocket dash. The bomb through, of course, is what I showcased to you prior to that. That thing does 100 damage. It's pretty ridiculous. He's insanely fast. Sometimes it does 35. It seems to be one of those deals. If you fully charge it, it'll do 100. Sometimes I've been able to kind of blast through here, hit 2 at once. Let's see if we can do it here. Yeah, there's back-to-back hundreds. It's absolutely ridiculous what that thing does. And that's box stock. He has no upgrades done to him whatsoever. Speaking of that, let's go ahead. You kind of get it. It's really hard for me to show the character. You don't really get a close-up of him. But jumping, that's what he looks like. And then, of course, on the, you know, mushrooms, we sort of bound up a little bit. So that said, let's go ahead, come in here. We're going to go to Skylander. We're going to come in here to his stats. 368 is where he's sitting at right now. That hat's plus 20. I think originally he began at 290. Don't hold me to that. I want to say that's correct. Speed 43, armor 24, critical hit 6, elemental power 25, and then as you add characters of that element, obviously bump up, I think 7-ish at a time. So we'll go ahead back out of here. We're going to go to upgrades. Again, being a SWAP Force character, we basically got, you know, top end and bottom end, soul gem on top, soul gem on bottom. Kind of sounds complicated. I feel like once you've, you know, upgraded, if you ever see me do it, it'll kind of make sense for you. What we showcased was his bomb throw. Press Y to throw a bomb at enemies. Very effective, very rapid. There's really no noticeable lag at all. I mean, if I had to recommend one character, it's probably why he was in the starter pack. But if I had to give just one character, initially, granted, you know, not everyone's been released. I haven't gotten to play with everyone, at least on the Wii version here, Wii U. I've actually used pretty much everyone on the 3DS, but based on what we see here, you cannot go wrong with Blast Zone. Secondary attack on the top end, I should say, is going to be Flame Breath. Hold X while turning to create a wall of fire that damages nearby enemies. Second purchase upgrade on the top end is going to be Power Bombs. Press Y to throw bombs that do increased damage. That'll be interesting to see if that's like a marginal increase or something crazy. And lastly, we've got Sticky Bomb. Hold Y to charge a bomb and release it to throw a timed sticky bomb. That should be interesting. Now you get to a point where you actually have to pick a path, if you will, with Blast Zone on his top half. Again, it sounds complicated in all the wording. I think once we actually start upgrading characters, it'll make a little bit more sense. Cool thing with Dark Blast Zone, we can actually take both paths. His first one that features flaming bombs is actually his ignition path. Flaming bombs. Bombs catch fire when they pass through the firewall created by flame breath, dealing increased damage in an area. There for a second I thought that was decreased damage. Second one down the ignition path is called Fired Up. Flaming bombs do even more damage in a larger area. Now, if that doesn't interest you, you kind of want to go with the Flame Breath, which is kind of like his tertiary attack, if you will. You come down here, you've got the Reaction Satisfaction path. It begins with the Ring of Fire. Create a full circle with Flame Breath, causes a massive explosion. And then lastly, you've got Ring Blast. Ring of Fire does increase damage in a larger area. Now, coming over, as mentioned, you've got a Soul Gem not only for the top, but also the bottom. His, I believe, I think it's Phantasm Forest, if I remember right. Yeah, duh, it's on the screen. I don't know why I didn't do that. But the top end Soul Gem is Bomb Party. New armor enhancements allow 2 bombs to be thrown at once, which, just keeping it base, not factoring in anything between box stock and this point in time, that'd be 28x2, 56. You got 42s at times, that's 84. Incredible damage, just basically box stock and a Soul Gem. Now, that's only half the fun though. We've got to go check out his bottom half. So, the way this one works, primary attack on the bottom end, Rocket Dash. Hold A to dash around with a rocket boost. You've seen that. 35 to 100 damage, usually 100. He moves insanely fast. It is a very nice base move. Next up, he's got basically 3 upgrades here, just like last time, or the top half, I should say. Begins with Ready for Blast Off. Hold A to charge a Rocket Dash and deal damage to nearby enemies. That sounds interesting. Then we've got Armor Plating. Your armor is increased hot off the steel presses. That one, I believe, if it follows suit, should be like plus 40, which would be ridiculously nice. Then we've got Fuel for the Fire. Hold A to dash. Dashing now lasts for as long as A is held. Wow, that is very interesting there. This could essentially become, granted I haven't tried the speed runs here. I'm sure there's jumping involved to get through things, but just in terms of getting from A to B, he will probably be tough to beat unless that's like tempered a little bit. Coming in though on the bottom half, we've got 2 upgrade paths for you. You've got Fuel Injected path. Starts with Heat Wave. A rocket-fueled fireball is shot out at the end of the dash. Again, apparently if you've upgraded with your primaries, you can come in here and control that at will. Then we've got tempered fire. A more powerful heat wave is shot out at the end of dashing. So, sounds interesting there. That said, if that doesn't suit you, you've got temperature's rising path. A fiery aura appears after dashing, which damages any enemy nearby. And too hot to handle, an even more powerful fire aura appears at the end of dashing. So you basically, it looks like if you go this route, tempered rising, you're going to have that little flame orb around you. And if you go with the fuel injected path, you basically have a fireball that's shot out. This is one of those deals, again, this is why it's nice that there is actually a dark blast zone, particularly since blast zone is a starter pack character, not available in single pack form. Really gonna be hard for people to come in and pick one of these. You know, I mean, they could be exactly the same damage. I mean, we'll just throw a number out. Maybe they both do 30 damage. The fireball, of course, probably going to proceed forward under the top fuel injected path. Bottom, with the tempered rising path, it might be something that kind of more 360 degrees gets, you know, enemies to the, you know, peripheral vision, maybe even behind you. But like I said, the cool thing is we can take dark blast zone down one, regular blast zone down the other, call that good. Now, that's not all though, he also has that soul gem for the legs. Again, it is in Phantasm Forest, since I'm actually reading that this time. It's called Hot Feet. This sounds really cool. It's reminiscent to me, if at this point in time anyone remembers back to the glory days with Flame Slinger. Hot Feet, a fire trail is left behind while dashing that damages enemies. I haven't really, in what I've heard people talking about, you know, I always hear a lot about certain characters. I haven't really heard anyone much talking great things about Blast Zone, and based on my short and limited experiences, I'm not quite sure why. Maybe he's not the flashiest or the newest or something, but I think he is going to be an absolute beast regardless of what you do with him. That said, we're going to back out of there. His quest, let's go ahead and check that out. Bad Guy Basher, defeat 1,000 enemies, eat 15 fruits, complete non-story mode level with full health. True Gladiator, win 10. Yeah, that my nephew took care of that one in our little first rendition there. Totally maxed out. This is kind of cool they put this in there. It's incentive to go ahead and get everything done. Reach level 20 and purchase all upgrades. Elementalist, again, kind of draws back to Giants, 7,500 damage. Fire specific now. That one was fire specific, even though it's like universal. This one, Mega Melter, defeat a total of 25 ice golems. When you come into this game and you see the ice golems, which I wanted to do the playthrough, I was thinking Chapter 3 was a winter one. It's like way later. It's really cold here, and it just kind of seemed like a good thing to do tonight. But since it was so far off, and I need to kind of test the recording method, I figured I'd go in and, you know, do this. But keep in mind, when you have the fire golems, you're probably going to want to use water element characters, even if they're not strong in the area. You do have these little quests you want to take care of. So a couple playthroughs of the game usually you'll do that, or you can replay chapters, etc. Next one, this was ridiculous because it's so easy to do. Defeat a total of 30 enemies with bombs. Cakewalk on this one. His personal quest, if you can't stand the heat, defeat a total of 10 enemies from your flame wall in a single use of your flame breath. Again, you're probably going to need to set that one up, so keep that in mind. But, we'll back out of there, back out of there, back out of here. No heroic challenges to show you. Don't really have anything other than these dummies to kind of do in terms of introducing the character. More or less, it's just kind of to show you what the character looks like, what their box stock powers look like, you know, things of that nature. So it's kind of sad not having heroics. I mean, I know that especially with this many characters, they would be ridiculously redundant, but a lot of people, you know, I've had tons of people, you know, right when the game came out, I was like, hey man, my favorite character is Bumble Blast, but he's really slow. Is there nothing I can do to speed him up? I think there are attributes you can gain, but in terms of like going through and, you know, Stealth Elf, Double Trouble, Trigger Happy, Drobot, you know, all the heroic challenges, there's really not jack you can do to improve that base speed. To give you an idea, Blast Zone's speed is 43. He's fairly nimble. I mean, the thing that's going to save him is, you know, he can do that, and then apparently when we upgrade him, he can just go hog wild with it. But I guess I will leave it at that. Really not much more to cover, I guess, the way they've kind of structured the game this time around. Let's see here. Where are we at? We got 15 minutes in. I can go ahead and throw this in. Slogan, of course, is Blast and Furious. Probably should have done this at the start. I'm kind of like pegging everything down still. As a young Furnace Knight, Blast Zone was part of the Skylanders bomb squad, specializing in the safe disarming and removal of troll bombs. But it was not long before the trolls got tired of Blast Zone constantly thwarting their evil plans, so they decided to go after the Furnace Knight himself. Late one night, an army of trolls snuck into Blast Zone's village and threw 100 bombs down his chimney. Acting quickly, Blast Zone swallowed each bomb and then belched a jet of fire back at the invaders, sending them fleeing with their boots on fire. The tale of the attack eventually reached the ear of none other than Master Eon, who knew the brave Furnace Knight had all the makings of a Skylander. And again, I would have to agree. Like I said, you know, at least from what people have relayed back to me, you know, I've heard lots of people say, oh man, you know, Hootloop's great, Firecracking's awesome, Free Ranger, that's where it's at, Washbuckler's the best. It's primarily been those characters. I thought Hootloop would be pretty awesome. Lots of people seeming to like Free Ranger. Firecracking, he's got a lot again. I think the dragon aspect there has a lot to do. But it's weird to me because Blast Zone, I mean, if you've got the console starter pack, you've got Blast Zone, and I haven't really heard, you know, jack about, you know, oh man, Blast Zone's my favorite. Could be a deal I could upgrade him. It could be pathetic. I mean, his base damage of 28 and 42 on the bomb toss might turn out to be like 33. Some lame increase. The 100 on the leg's primary attack might wind up at like 106. I don't know, but all I do know is he seems very promising to me. I'm excited to upgrade him. But this is kind of, I guess, introduction number 1. Like I said, I feel like I've done these, just grouped them by starter pack, but I can't find the recording, so we're gonna run with that. If this syncs up well, I'll probably go ahead, I'll do the starter pack characters, come in, knock out the swappers, take care of our Newlanders, the legendary special interest light core, then back into everybody else in Series 3 or Series 2. And meanwhile, I've been hoping, I mean, my thing is, I know Chapter 2 has that like stealth zone, and I keep holding out, you know, thinking maybe, you know, Stink Bomb will show up or something, so I don't have to like come back to Chapter 2, but I'm probably going to go ahead and play it. Things are kind of slowing down for me. I feel like if this syncs up, I pretty well got this ironed out. I'll just be playing like with quality settings and everything, so we'll see how this one goes, and if that's the case, I should get back on the playthrough. Again, my deal, my past setup, it was HD. I mean, my past one, old recording device, it's just a deal for whatever reason on the cutscenes, and then like fast-paced stuff, Super Smash Brothers Brawl when you're really getting at it, Mario Kart Wii sometimes, Sonic Racing Transform, anything that was like graphically intense and fast-paced. It could handle the graphically intense, but when you start like really button mashing, or just there's like a cutscene that's really fancy, it drops frames, and then that of course skews everything several seconds, and then my commentary doesn't line up, and it turns out to be a mess. And this game was important enough to me. I wanted to try and invest in something that would eliminate that, and I didn't, really foresee it being this big of a problem, getting it all lined up because of its issues in and of itself with the new stuff. But I'm gonna quit rambling. I guess I'll come back in. I might. I guess I'll introduce Dark Blast Zone, although we probably should have just done it here. But I want to keep them separate, I guess, in case people are just specifically interested in a dark character, or, like when we get the Jade Firecracken or something of the world, or Legendary Night Shift, that way you don't have to sit through Night Shift. But it will be a little redundant, but like I said, for those people that are only interested in, like, say, the Dark, the Legendary, the Jade, Enchanted Hoot Loop, etc., Nitro Magna Charge, that way they can just find that video and be home free. So I'll try to do comparisons to the base figures in those. I guess will be the way to do it. But personally, I would just like to pile them together. But like I said, I realize for most people it's easier to just have them stand alone. So I guess we'll have like double the pleasure, double the fun in terms of videos there. But like I said, it's kind of overwhelming, this many characters, this much new stuff, factoring in new recording equipment and everything. So we'll make the most of it though, as long as everybody's having fun. That's all that matters. But I'll quit rambling. We'll come in. I guess I'll do Dark Blast Zone, and we will take it from there. So as always, thanks for watching, and until next time, we will catch you later.